Evening, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the part 2 lecture from Target 360 Biology with the one-shot series of the CBSE Term 1 chapter, that is the living world. So let's get started with this super amazing session. We have already done the video on the first part of living world, and there we discussed about the characteristics of life. Along with we discussed over there about a small concept about the organizations that gave the binomial names or that will approve the names for a particular organism as well. So in today's class, we would be discussing about the taxonomical aids and the taxonomical hierarchy. So in the last class, we stopped at a particular slide where we discussed about the 4 different steps in taxonomy, like characterization, identification, classification, nomenclature, like that. Okay, and from today we'll be expanding or we'll be approaching the higher levels. Okay, everyone. So those who are watching the session right now, don't forget to hit the like button, to share it with your friends, and subscribe the amazing platform for more updates on biology. Yes, everyone. So let's get started from this part onwards, that is the hierarchy of classification. So before we begin the hierarchy of classification, you all know what is meant by this, right, everyone? You all know what is this. That is starting from kingdom onwards. That is kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. You know this particular, I have given you the code also to remember this KPC of GS. So we all know that a taxonomical hierarchy starts with the kingdom. Then from kingdom, it will move on to the phylum. From phylum, you will have the class, classes, you will have the order. That is, we are telling from the higher category to the lower category. I have told you from the lower category to the higher category as well. Right, everyone? So I have taught you like this KPC of GS. So I have taught you exactly like this. Right, everyone? So each one of you must be very well aware about the same. That is, this is moving from the higher taxonomical category to the lower taxonomical category. Whereas when you travel or when you move from species to kingdom, you're moving from the small taxonomical category to the highest or the largest taxonomical category. This is very important. Clear? So this order is very important, and this is a previous year question, that is phylum. In case of plants, you call this phylum as what? You call this phylum as division. Don't get confused with phylum and division. Phylum in case of animals, division is in case of what? Plants. So let's read one by one. Yes, everyone. So let's get started. So I think it would be better if we start from the lower class, that is from the species onwards. So let's get started from the species only. So guys, in this diagram, you will find domain, life. So you must study only up to kingdom. That is K, P, C of GS. Kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Okay, everybody, just like this. So firstly, let's discuss about the term species. What is species? Species means all those organisms which share a similar character, which share a common or a similar character, and that can interbreed and produce the offspring. Clear? For example, in case of Mangifera indica, in the term Mangifera indica, you will see that species name is the indica. Okay, indica stands for the species name. Okay, everyone. So a group of species, that is a group of species that combine together or group of species which closely relates to each other constitutes the genus, which is the next higher taxonomical category. Okay, which is the next higher taxonomical category. Okay, so what was species? Species means it is a group of organisms that share a common character and can interbreed among themselves, and produce the offspring. That's very important. That's the main function. Okay, that's very important. So a group of species will combine together to have the genus. So closely related species with certain resemblances have the genus. So Panthera is a genus which includes lion, which is Panthera leo, leopard, Panthera pardus, tiger, Panthera tigris, like that. Okay, you'll include so many details like this. Finally, you have about the family. Okay, you have to discuss about the family as well. Okay, so when a group of genus combine together, that will lead to the formation of a family. So closely related genera will lead to the formation of a family. For example, the genus Solanum, Petunia, Datura all belongs to one family, which is Solanaceae. So guys, it's very important to note that in case of plants, you have to identify the name of the family when that is ending with A, C, E, A, E. What is it? ACA, Solanaceae, Fabaceae, Liliaceae, Brassicaceae, all those things. So when it is ending with ACEAE, then you have to identify that as the family. So a group of family will together form the order, right? So we'll discuss about the order now. So order means a closely related families that resemble in major character. For example, family Convolvulaceae, Solanaceae, they all belong to one order, that is order Polymoniales. Okay, a group of family will combine together to form the order. Then a group of order will form a class. For example, inside the class Mammalia, you will have the order Primata, order Carnivora, etc. A group of class will combine together to have a phylum in case of animals, and in case of plants that will lead to the formation of division. Okay, phylum means classes with few common characters. So the common character among organism keeps on decreasing as we move from species to kingdom. Okay, includes phyla with common characters. Okay, includes animals, Animalia, kingdom Animalia. That means it includes phyla Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, like Platyhelminthes, Ashhelminthes, like that. You will find so many groups of phylum inside a single kingdom Animalia. Like exactly, in case of fungi also you will find the same, right? In case of fungi, you will find that a group of fungi, different classes of fungi are there, right? Like Ascomycetes is there, Basidiomycetes is there, Deuteromycetes is there, like that. Different fungi. All those comes under classes of fungi or comes under what? A single kingdom, that is the phylum. Sorry, that single kingdom which is the fungi. So that what we have to discuss over here. Look, species Tigris, then genus Panthera, then Felidae, Carnivore, class Mammalia, phylum Chordata, and Animalia. Just understand, guys, this. Look, in species there was a tiger. When it comes to the genus, you know what all are exact or extra added over there. What all things are extra added, so that number will increase. So the number of species increases as we move from the species to the kingdom. Clear? Is that clear, everyone? Yes. Next, we have to discuss about the binomial nomenclature. Okay, next we are going to discuss about the term that is a binomial nomenclature, which everybody know about that, right? So who proposed the binomial nomenclature? Binomial nomenclature was proposed by Carl Linnaeus, right? So binomial nomenclature was proposed by Carl Linnaeus, and binomial nomenclature is how a species or a particular organism is named. Clear, everybody? Okay. Yes. So every name, for example, Mangifera indica composed of how many terms? It composed of two different terms, right? Two different terms means one indicates the genus name and the other the species name or the specific epithet. Okay, so next we are going to look at the rules of binomial nomenclature. So the NEET aspirants would be thinking like, so we are not going to write any board exam, so there is no need to study these rules by heart. But this is a previous year NEET MCQ for the year 2018. Rules of binomial nomenclature, the generic and specific name are always in Latin. Greek, we won't accept it always in Latin, or in certain words you can use Greek as well. But mostly if the question demands for Latin, you have to write that the generic and the specific name are always in Latin. Genus name is always capitalized. That is the first term. For example, Mangifera. This is the generic name. So M is always capital, whereas indica, which is the specific epithet, that is I, is the small letter. Clear? Species in the same genus are thought to be closely related. A species epithet is the second part of the scientific name. You'll always start them with a lowercase and it will always follows the genus. In case of a scientist or in case of a biologist who discovered their name, then you have to write Lin after that. Okay. You have to use Lin over there. Clear? So these are what have been concerned with binomial nomenclature, the only thing which you have to study. Okay. Clear, everyone? Yes. Next, simply I've included some examples for you. Whenever I provide the PDF of the session, in the description, I'll try to provide the PDF of the session, or else you can just take a screenshot. This is the examples of binomial nomenclature. For example, Manco, Mangifera indica, Lion, Panthera, Leo, Man, Homo sapiens, and Banyan tree ficus. Okay, then you have to study KPC of GS along with an example of a human being is as well shown. Okay. Clear, everybody? Yes. Okay, guys. So let's now move on to the taxonomical aids, which is the last part of this chapter. So there are mainly 5 important taxonomical aids which you have to study. That is the herbarium, botanical garden, museum, zoological park, and the key. Okay, you must study herbarium, botanical garden, museum, zoological park, and the key. Okay, so look, botanical garden, herbarium, monograph, museum, zoological park, key, flora, and manual. Clear, everyone? So let's discuss in detail about each one. Questions have been asked from all these taxonomical aids. So first we will be discussing about the herbarium. Okay. So herbarium is a storehouse of collected plants which are dried, pressed, and preserved on sheets. And there are many labelings which have been there. many labelings, that is date and place of collection, English, local and botanical name, family and collector's name. NEET 2016 question was from this area. Okay, NEET 2016 question. They are used as a ready reference in the scientific study. Okay, they are used as a ready reference in the scientific study. When we are moving on to the botanical garden, there we will be discussing. Look how beautiful is a botanical garden. How many of you have been to a botanical garden at least once? Yes, so it's very beautiful to visit. There are many names have been mentioned in your NCERT, so please go through that as well. I have not included it in the slides. They are a collection of various living plant species used for the identification of plants only. Each plant is labeled with its botanical name and family. Okay. So, important functions of the botanical garden is: number one, growing important plants of local flora. Okay. Keeping record of the local flora, providing living plant material, supplying seeds for seed banks material in the botanical research garden, growing and maintaining rare and endangered species. So that's very important. Okay. Okay, so that's very important. This has been also very, very important. Okay, guys, let's move on to the next one. Before that, let's move on to the museum first, then we'll move on to the zoological part. Museum is simply a collection of preserved plants and animals for study and reference. Okay. Okay. So let's have a detailed study about what are the different functions of museum as well, which can be asked for the exam. A museum contains specimens preserved in solutions or jars or container. Dried specimens of plants and animals are also kept. Insect. In case of insect, you will find those insects are placed in insect boxes after collecting, killing, and pinning them. Stuffed animals, that is like the birds, then in birds, animals like rabbits, pigeons and all, they will be stuffed and will be stored. Collection of animal skeleton is also found in case of museum. Okay, guys. Okay, everyone. Yes. Next, we'll be moving on to the zoological part. Okay, guys. So now we are moving on to the last, towards the end of the chapter, that is about the zoological part. Place where wild animals are kept in a protected environment and under human care. It helps to learn about their food habits and their behavior. Under a protected environment, almost in the natural environment, we'll have to, almost in a natural habitat, we will have, okay, we'll protect these animals. Okay, everyone, is that fine and clear for everybody? Okay, yes. The last part of this chapter is the taxonomical key. It is a taxonomical aid where plants and animals are recognized based upon a contrasting character. Both you can identify both plants as well as animals. Okay, you can identify both plants as well as animals, which is actually based upon a contrasting characteristic. Couplet has actually two opposite statement which is termed as a lead. Clear. Separate keys for separate taxonomy categories are used, and they are used for classifying the organism. Clear, everyone? Yes. Guys, we have found out a new organism. Just imagine about the same. In that new organism, we are first of all checking whether it is a vertebrate. We identified it as a vertebrate. So if we identify it as a vertebrate, we'll be looking on whether it has fur on their body or whether it is a fur-less organism. If it is having, then you will consider it as mammals and will end your research. Or else, if it doesn't have fur, you will go with whether it has feathers or not. If it does not have feathers also, you will go with about their fertilization. This is not a what? A true, like, this is just an illustration in order to make you identify about the same. Okay? Yes. So you need not to that is by heart all these things in detail, because only these things would be asked. Only these things would be asked for the examination. Okay, guys. So thank you so much. This was the super amazing part 2 lecture. So tomorrow we will see with the next chapter. Okay, so be ready, guys. Thank you so much. Like, share, and subscribe. Target 360 Biology. Thank you so much.